My beloved child, the season of testing has truly come to an end. There is no hidden door left that can lead you back into those heavy days. I know your mind still cannot fully believe this, because many times you thought freedom was near, only to find yourself facing another cycle. You became accustomed to waking with a weight upon you, preparing yourself for the worst, and looking at every moment of peace with suspicion. But today, I want you to hear this clearly. What needed to be completed has been completed. The lesson that needed to be engraved has been engraved. And the season that clung to your life longer than you could understand has reached its final limit. You are no longer standing in the fire trying to survive. You are standing on the other side, where the first light of morning has begun to touch everything that darkness once covered. Decisions have been made in places you cannot see, not so that you will become dependent upon mystery, but to remind you that your life has never been determined only by the circumstances before your eyes. During the hours when you felt most alone, a process continued quietly. When you thought your prayers were falling into emptiness, endurance was still growing. When you believed silence meant you had been forgotten, it was within that silence that your weakest places were being strengthened. You did not notice the change from day to day, because deep things often develop very slowly. But now, as you look back, you will recognize that you no longer respond as the person you once were. Things that used to make you collapse now cause you to pause and reflect. Words that once made you question your worth no longer possess enough power to control you. This is evidence that the testing has completed its work. I want you to understand why that season was permitted to last so long. It was not meant to steal your joy, nor to prove how much pain you could endure. It lasted because what was being formed within you could not be completed during a few easy days. You learned how to remain standing without applause, how to preserve integrity when no one acknowledged you, and how to continue doing good even before results appeared. You learned that not everyone walking beside you is allowed to accompany you to the end of the road. You learned how to say no without condemning yourself, and how to leave an unhealthy place without turning your departure into a war. These things cannot be given through words alone. They become part of you only after you have lived them, been tested by them, and chosen rightly many times. What became obscured throughout that period was your ability to feel peace. Prolonged pressure caused you to forget what it felt like to wake without immediately preparing for battle. You lived in tension for so long that you began to believe it was your personality. You thought you were simply someone who always worried, always remained defensive, and always had to solve everything alone. But that is not who you truly are. It was merely the way you adapted in order to survive. Now, as the weight is being put down, peace will return little by little. It may appear as deep as sleep, a morning when you no longer fear the day ahead, or a moment when you remember the past without your chest tightening. These changes may seem small, but they are real. Do not overlook them, because this is how new life begins to fill the space that fear once occupied. I know even the relief you feel now makes you uncertain. Your hands carried something heavy for so long that even after it is put down, your body still holds the old posture. Your mind continues scanning for danger and worrying that peace is only a short pause before another storm. Do not blame yourself for this. That vigilance once protected you, but now it must be gently taught that its assignment has ended. Each day, remind yourself that you no longer need to live like someone being pursued. Slow down before reacting. Examine the truth before becoming afraid. And do not turn one small difficulty into evidence that everything is returning. Not every unfavorable day is the beginning of another dark season. Sometimes it is simply an ordinary day, and you are allowed to experience it without predicting disaster. Hope within you is returning cautiously because it has been disappointed before. Many times, you saw a door open slightly, approached it with all your trust, and then watched it close. You called certain seasons an ending, only to have to pick up again what you believed you had already put down. Because of this, your heart learned not to celebrate too early, not to trust too quickly, and always to keep a measure of protection. That wisdom is not wrong, but I do not want it to become a wall that prevents you from receiving what is good. You can remain cautious and still hope. You can think carefully without allowing suspicion to destroy every opportunity. The new season does not ask you to become naive. It invites you to use everything you have learned to walk with awareness without becoming closed. The person you have become after the fire is no longer someone who only desires rescue. You have become someone who knows how to build after being brought out. You understand the value of peace because you lived too long in chaos. You know how to appreciate loyalty because you experienced abandonment. You understand how deeply words can heal or wound because you carried painful words for years. These things have made you a deeper person, but I want you to use that depth to love, not to isolate yourself. Let wisdom help you choose people, roads, and timing. But do not allow the past to persuade you that everyone will betray you or every good thing must end. The season of battle has closed, and the season of building is opening. This means you must also change the way you use your strength. In the past, most of your energy went toward defending yourself, resolving crises, and repairing what was repeatedly wounded. Now, use that strength to create something new. Care for your health. Bring order to your finances. Nurture relationships built upon respect. And return to the dreams you once had to put aside. You do not need to do everything at once. Begin with one small but genuine action. Finish an incomplete plan. Establish a healthy habit. Organize your living space. Or actively explore a new opportunity. Someone who has just left a battlefield does not need to run immediately. First, they must learn how to walk in peace again. Do not confuse the end of the test with a promise that you will never encounter another difficulty. Life will still contain unexpected days, hard choices, and circumstances requiring courage. The difference is that you no longer enter them with the mindset of someone already defeated. You carry evidence within you that you can endure without losing goodness. Be rejected without abandoning your sense of worth. And lose one thing without allowing the whole future to collapse with it. These abilities have become part of you. The testing did not merely pass over you. It left within you strength, discernment, and the ability to stand without making noise. I also want you to release the belief that you must prove the test has ended through some great success. You do not need to rush to produce visible results so everyone can see that you have recovered. Sometimes the clearest evidence of healing is that you stop explaining. You no longer need to retell every injustice so others will understand how much you suffered. You do not need the person who hurt you to witness your happiness before you can feel victorious. You can move forward quietly, rebuild your life, and allow peace to become your answer. When you stop using the future to retaliate against the past, you become truly free. My beloved child, allow relief to enter each part of you at a pace you can receive. You do not need to force yourself to feel joyful immediately, nor should you feel guilty because some sadness remains. The end of a season can carry gratitude and grief, joy and exhaustion at the same time. You lost many things along the road, and you are allowed to mourn them. But do not let grief pull you back into the place from which you were brought out. Honor what has passed by living more wisely because of the lessons it left. What you lost was not meaningless if it helped you recognize what should never again be exchanged. Now lift your head. You have become someone who knows how to preserve faith without visible evidence. Protect character when no one is watching, and continue moving even when many days allow only very slow progress. This is not merely the person you are still trying to become. This is the person standing here now. You passed through fire without allowing it to take away your gentleness. You endured pressure without using that pressure as a reason to destroy others. You learned how to put down what did not belong to you and protect what was precious. The test has ended, and the first reward is not found in what may soon arrive from outside, but in the person who was formed within. Enter the new chapter calmly. Do not return repeatedly to check whether the former door has truly closed. Do not continually search for signs that pain is coming back. Use the hands that have now been released to plant, build, and embrace what is healthy. I am beside you to remind you that this ending is real. You are not standing upon a false summit, nor are you being deceived by temporary peace. That season completed its work, and you came out. Allow this truth to sink deeper day by day until your mind catches up with what your heart already knows. It is finished. The weight has been put down, and the life before you is waiting for you to enter it with the feet of someone who has finally become free. You were not created to remain forever inside the narrow cycles that exhausted the generations before you. You are called to step out, heal what was wounded, and open a brighter road for those who come after you. I do not say this so that you will consider yourself greater than others, nor do I want you to wear the name chosen as a crown of pride. True difference is not found in receiving more praise, but in your willingness to take greater responsibility for what exists within you. If you continue thinking like someone powerless, repeating former choices, and accepting every limitation as fixed destiny, you will continue receiving familiar results. But if you are courageous enough to face the patterns passed through your family, the habits nourished by fear, and the beliefs that continually caused you to become smaller, you can bring them to an end. Breaking a cycle does not mean opposing your family. It means refusing to pass on unhealed pain, harmful silence, love without boundaries, and reactions that have wounded many people. Do not assume every form of resistance appears because you are weak. But neither should you treat every difficulty as evidence that some hidden force is hunting you. Some challenges arise simply because you are changing, and the people and circumstances familiar with the former version of you have not yet adapted. When you begin saying no after years of always agreeing, those who benefited from your silence may react. When you stop tolerating unhealthy behavior, certain relationships may become tense. When you choose discipline instead of old habits, the part of you accustomed to ease may also resist. This does not prove you are in danger. It shows that growth always requires transition. Your strength is not found in seeing an enemy in every face, but in the ability to discern calmly, recognize what is genuinely harmful, and distinguish it from what merely feels uncomfortable because it is requiring you to mature. I know you are sensitive. You easily notice changes in tone, expression, atmosphere, and the things others try to conceal. This ability can make you perceptive, compassionate, and capable of recognizing a problem before it becomes serious. But sensitivity becomes a gift only when joined with discernment. Do not turn every uneasy feeling into a prophecy, every dream into a command, or every period of exhaustion into evidence of an invisible battle. A tired body may need sleep, nourishment, movement, or professional care. A heavy mind may be the result of too many responsibilities, prolonged stress, or emotions that have not been released. Dreams may reflect fears, memories, and what you absorbed during the day. Listen to them as possible clues that help you understand yourself, but do not give them authority to frighten you or lead you into careless decisions. You are not losing your mind simply because you feel deeply, but you also do not need to explain everything alone. When emotions become too heavy, sleep remains disturbed for a long time, or suspicion makes it difficult to trust anyone. Seek a wise person, a trustworthy professional, or someone able to listen without judgment. I can guide you through prayer, but I can also use an honest conversation, accurate knowledge, and appropriate care to restore you. Faith does not require you to deny reality. Faith helps you face reality without losing hope. Recognize when to pray, when to rest, and when to seek help. A strong person is not someone who never needs anyone. A strong person is humble enough to recognize that they were not created to carry every burden alone. You prayed for breakthrough, but some doors open only when you are willing to leave what is holding you back. I am not telling you to remove everyone from your life because of one temporary feeling. I want you to examine the long-term fruit of each relationship. Does that person respect your boundaries? Can they accept responsibility when they are wrong after spending time with them? Are you strengthened to live more wisely? Or do you continually fall into shame, fear, and confusion? Some relationships need healing through honest conversation. Others require clear boundaries. There are also places you must leave in order to protect dignity and peace. Proper separation does not arise from hatred. It comes when you recognize that love cannot continue in the form of control, humiliation, or exploitation. You also prayed for peace. But peace cannot grow if you continually open the door to things that make your mind chaotic. Examine what you receive each day: conversations filled with negativity, information that frightens you, habits of comparison, and environments that continually pressure you to react. Some noise is not spiritual information. It is simply overload that needs to be reduced. Create spaces without screens, arguments, or the demand to answer immediately. Let your mind return to its natural rhythm. In quietness, you will more easily distinguish a genuine warning from an old wound reacting, and from simple exhaustion that makes everything appear darker than it truly is. I am waiting for your obedience. But obedience is not a hurried reaction born from fear. It is action arising from clarity. If you know your finances need adjustment, Begin with a specific plan. If your health is speaking, schedule an examination instead of making assumptions. If a relationship continually wounds you, seek support and establish safe boundaries. If you carry a great dream, divide it into small steps you can actually take. Do not merely wait for a sign to perform your responsibility for you. I open the road, but you need to use your feet. I give wisdom, but you must devote time to learning. I bring people who can help, but you need to release pride in order to receive them. Sometimes the greatest danger is not an unexpected disaster, but becoming accustomed to a life that no longer fits. You wake, fulfill responsibilities, endure what weakens you, and tell yourself tomorrow will be different. Yet tomorrow is lived exactly like yesterday. This kind of delay makes no noise. It quietly takes your vitality, your years, and your courage. Therefore, I do not want you to panic, but I do want you to awaken. Do not delay the necessary conversation. Do not continue calling a harmful environment safe merely because it is familiar. Do not wait until you are completely exhausted before permitting yourself to rest. And do not wait for perfect confidence before beginning what you already know must be done. One small step taken today can break a cycle that lasted for years. My beloved child, you do not need to comment a number or prove before a crowd that this word belongs to you. Genuine confirmation will be seen in the choice you make after reading these lines. Choose one concrete action, rebuild a boundary. Ask for help. Rest properly. Complete something you postponed. Or speak the truth calmly. You were not called to live in paranoia, continually waiting for an attack. You were called to live with discernment. Recognize danger without allowing fear to govern. Preserve sensitivity while remaining grounded in reality. I do not want you merely surviving each day. I want you awake, living with purpose, discipline, and peace. When you do this, your light will no longer be a loud declaration. It will become a life honest enough to end former cycles and open a road for a generation to walk in greater freedom. You are entering the final days of a long season of testing, and the clearest signs are not found in dramatic events, but in the small movements your heart has begun to recognize. My beloved child, adversity trained your eyes for a long time to look only toward danger. You became accustomed to noticing closed doors, hurtful words, shortages, and everything that might become a threat. Because of this, when change begins to arrive gently, you may assume it is insignificant. But I want you to slow down and observe. What is appearing around you may seem very small, a meeting occurring at the right time, encouragement from someone who does not know what you have endured, or an opportunity opening without your having to strike the door in desperation. These things do not thunder, but they carry a peace you cannot completely ignore. That quiet feeling is reminding you that the former season has begun to lose its authority. Perhaps recently you have repeatedly noticed a familiar time, heard words that touched exactly what you were keeping hidden, or unexpectedly met someone who offered the advice you had quietly prayed to receive. I do not want you to turn every small detail into an omen and live under the pressure of interpreting everything. Discernment does not mean finding mystery in every ordinary event. Yet, when something brings clarity, peace, and encouragement toward a healthier direction, you may pause and receive the lesson within it. You have matured enough to distinguish between a temporary emotion and a confirmation that produces deep inner order. 6 months ago, you may have overlooked such things because your mind was completely occupied with survival. Now, within the same world, you are beginning to notice the rays of light that darkness once concealed. This is not because every circumstance has completely changed, but because your inner vision has been trained to recognize hope. Another sign appears in the way you tell your story. You have begun unconsciously speaking about certain forms of pain in the voice of someone already standing on the other side. You say you used to feel surrounded, used to awaken with pressure upon your chest, and used to believe every door was against you. You may not have noticed this change in your language, but I have heard it. A deep part of you is naming that season as a chapter already past. Even though your reason remains cautious and is not yet willing to believe completely, you are not deceiving yourself. It is evidence that inner understanding is moving ahead of what your eyes can confirm. When someone is still submerged in a storm, they can speak only of wind and waves. But when they begin telling the story as something that has passed, their feet have touched different ground. Even if there is not yet enough light to see the entire shore, do not force yourself to celebrate loudly or declare that every problem has ended. I do not require you to deny the matters that still need attention. The ending of one season does not mean every consequence disappears immediately. It means the source of power that sustained that season has been cut off. A room may still smell of smoke after the fire is extinguished. The ground may remain wet long after the rain stops. In the same way, you may still experience tired days, unexpected memories, or moments when you fear everything will repeat. Do not treat these things as evidence that you have not come out. They are only echoes of a season that lasted too long. Be gentle with yourself when the echo appears. Then remember that an echo is not the actual storm returning. You are also beginning to feel a kind of quietness you did not know before. It is not the cold silence of being abandoned, but the stillness after something violent has moved far away. There are mornings when you awaken and realize you do not immediately begin searching for what might go wrong. There are evenings when you sit alone without needing to fill every minute with noise. Your shoulders occasionally release their tension. Your breath grows deeper, and your mind no longer creates dozens of frightening possibilities from one small event. These movements are easy to overlook, but they are evidence that your body is learning safety again. The part of you that stood guard without rest is beginning to understand that it may lower its weapons. This is not exhaustion that leaves you without strength to fight. It is the relief of someone finally realizing they do not need to fight in every moment. I know you lived in vigilance for so long that peace can sometimes make you uneasy. When everything becomes quiet, you wonder whether it is only the calm before another event. When someone treats you kindly, you search for a hidden motive. When a door opens easily, you suspect that you will soon be required to pay a painful price. This is how the former seasons still try to speak to you. Yet, day by day, you are learning not to obey every one of those voices. You are beginning to understand that not every joy announces future loss. Not every kindness is a trap, and not every good thing must be purchased through pain. When you can sit within a peaceful moment without immediately destroying it through anxiety, a very deep part of you is being restored. Along with this quietness, the future is beginning to appear again within your imagination. In the past, when the test reached its height, you could think only about surviving the present day. You possessed no strength to imagine next month, next year, or a life different from what you were enduring. All your energy was used for survival. But recently, you may have briefly imagined a more peaceful home, more suitable work, a healthier relationship, or a version of yourself no longer controlled by the past. These images may appear for only a few seconds and then disappear. Yet they carry a gentle pull forward. Do not despise this. When hope returns, it rarely comes back with loud celebration. It usually begins with one small question: what could my life become if this has truly passed? Allow that question to remain without forcing it to become a complete plan. You do not yet need to know every step. You need only permit yourself to believe that life still exists beyond this season of pain. Let your mind become accustomed to expecting goodness without guilt. Imagine a day when you awaken without being greeted by an old fear. Think about decisions made from peace rather than panic. Relationships in which you do not constantly have to prove your worth. And work that allows your abilities to be used without burning away all your strength. Looking forward is not escaping the present. It is a sign that you have gained enough breathing room to recognize that the present is no longer a permanent prison. However, as these signs appear, continue walking with awareness. Do not allow your desire for the former season to end to make you call every opportunity the right door. Observe what produces clarity. What requires you to betray your values? And what merely attracts you because it promises a quick escape from discomfort. The new chapter does not need to begin through hurried decisions. Someone who has just come out of a storm should examine the ground before rebuilding a home. Move forward, but carry the lessons that helped you survive. Open your heart, but do not abandon your boundaries. Hope, but still verify. Your maturity lies in your ability to receive something new without returning to the innocence that once left you vulnerable to harm. My beloved child, you do not need a gigantic sign to know that something has shifted. Look at the way your breathing has become deeper, the way your words have changed tense, the way the future no longer feels completely locked, and the way small things are reaching you with gentle precision. These are quiet bells announcing that the long night has passed through its darkest part. Dawn has not yet illuminated the whole sky, but the horizon no longer looks the same. One part of you already knows this, which is why you have begun turning forward even without complete evidence. Continue caring for this new quietness. Do not invite every former noise back simply because peace still feels unfamiliar. Allow your body to rest, your mind to become familiar with hope, and your heart to believe that it does not need to remain forever in a posture of defense. What refined you will no longer govern you. The former chapter has completed its work. It taught you endurance, discernment, and how to stand when no one was watching. Now you do not need to forget what you endured. You simply no longer need to remain inside it. I am guiding you toward a chapter prepared through the very lessons you once considered only loss. Walk slowly, but do not turn back. The stillness you are feeling is not emptiness. It is the room between two chapters, where the former person puts down the burden and the new person learns how to open their hands to receive the light.